Welcome to St. Louis Presents. Look what I made.
Gee, you're talented. You know what, Debbie?
Wait.
Oh, yeah, well, this is Lydia Gwynn from Bravo Restaurant. We're going to be talking to her a little bit later in the show because we've got some Christmas goodies.
Yes.
And, you know, the Christmas season really has begun, Debbie.
Actually, what I call it is the eating season, which kicked in shortly before Halloween, right?
Yeah.
The eating season.
Right. But I've already seen a Christmas tree. I've heard Christmas music. I got my first invitation to a Christmas party just the other day, so I guess I got to go out and buy a snow shovel or something.
Oh, well, we are going to get some snow. That's what they're predicting for St. Louis this winter, so I'm personally excited about that. But, you know, the holidays aren't always a great time for everyone. It can be very stressful, and there is a place in St. Louis that is really reaching out to people who need a little bit of help, and they also are doing an excellent job educating children. We're going to tell you more about what Great Circle does in our community coming up.
And we're also going to meet a professional promoter and find out what it takes to have a successful event.
Yes, I'm a terrible organizer, so we need people who can do that.
She needs help.
And it smells so good in here that we're going to go to the open.
Hurry,
and maybe
I'm
we'll
hungry.
be eating, but stay tuned for more St. Louis Presents. Our first guest today is a marketing and sales specialist here in St. Louis.
He's also a promoter of events and brands.
He's here to give us really the inside scoop on what it takes to plan a great event. Please welcome Eddie Holman.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Eddie, I will be upfront and saying I'm a terrible organizer. I'm really good at doing bip, bip, bip and moving on, but organizing a big event, there's so many loose ends that need to be figured into. So what type of events do you most like to plan? What kind of events do you put together?
I like events that have concepts to them. It makes it easier to kind of corral your thoughts if you're trying to maybe bring them all together, tie them together with some type of theme. So those things are exciting to me. A lot of the brand events that I work on tie in some type of goal or theme that we're trying to promote and associate with the brand to convey a feeling or some type of energy.
How big of an event does it have to be for there to be a promoter?
I mean, well, you can promote anything that you like. So some events require a more intimate setting. I mean, you can have something as small as a dinner party that could be effective as a promoted event, but you would also do something as large as a concert or gala. So it really just depends on what exactly you're trying to accomplish at the time and what suits it.
Well, I MC a lot of events throughout the year, so I feel like I've seen the inside of just about every hotel ballroom in the St. Louis area.
Right.
But there's a lot of smaller spaces that are coming online too, and it seems like new event spaces all the time are opening up. So for somebody like me, I think, how many event spaces do we need? Are there enough or too many?
I would say no, that there's not enough event spaces because you need a variety to choose from. I mean, aside from the size of the space, there's all kind of other factors to consider. The date might not be available. The layout of the facility itself may not necessarily work with what you're trying to accomplish. I've seen that happen with events where you want to have an open room, but you want to conduct an interview in front of an audience, and some people are talking because you don't have a way to separate the space. So you really got to have a variety of spaces to choose from in order to service the demands of the market here. And we're missing that, so I would say we need more.
You know, I don't host as many events as Debbie does, but I go to a lot of them. But what would you ask me if I came to you and I was going to plan an event or something? What would you want to know from me to figure out if you'd be able to help me?
Who's it for? How many people? Which bleeds into the venue conversation. Location is still very prominent in the planning of an event, but you need to know some factors to determine what kind of space that you need and whether or not it's going to work for the event. So definitely, who's the event for as an audience and how many of those people are going to be there.
Now, as we're heading into the holidays, do you tend to be busier at this time of year, or does it get less busy for you? And has it changed over the years with, Christmas versus holiday versus people's different ways of celebrating?
No, I think it's definitely more busy. The nature of the time period lends to celebration anyway. So, you have starting with October leading into Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. There's basically only 30 days of separation between each of those events. And if you're planning them, that's like there's no time. So it gets really busy during those time periods. So you're trying to accommodate a lot of people. The demand for spaces goes up. Resources become less available. So if you're not ready to throw your party and you're looking for something that you need, it's going to be harder to find it the closer you get to your date. So it's definitely busier.
What about the budgetary aspect of it? As a promoter, do you help me with the budget, or is that something I do on my own?
Well, it depends. It depends on the event. So if you're doing something that's more closely aligned to like a wedding or a gala, and it's for an organization, then they're probably going to set their budget what they want to spend on it. But then they also want to, cap the cost. If you're a brand, you may have a lot more money to use and be willing to invest more. There's no need to regain any of those costs back or raise money. So it depends on who's doing the event and what kind of goals are trying to be accomplished.
So my daughter has decided that she thinks party planning would be great fun, except she wants to tell everybody what their party's going to look like. And I try to tell her, when you hire a party planner, if you're the party planner, you really have to go along with the ideas of the person that you're helping, right, the client. What are some of the crazier themes or events that you put together?
that you can talk about.
Yeah, that aren't secret.
I don't know if there's any that are too crazy, but to your point, you definitely have to incorporate the person's vision. You'll find a lot of times though that people don't know that they don't know. So, and as you start exploring ideas, it starts to kind of flesh itself out. But some of the things are eyeglass parties or sunglasses, which just didn't really play well. Things tied to clothing themselves, shoes, jeans.
As a promoter, though, how do you know at the end of the day that you've done a good job? How do you know?
Some people would stop at just the attendance level, but to me, what's really telling is if people take the time to tell you that they enjoyed themselves at your event. Anybody could show up. You can convince people to come to a lot of places, but if you really imparted on them some type of genuine experience, then they'll be willing to either come back or trust you the next time that you do something.
Well, thank you very much for the tips, and I will definitely call you for my next event.
Next time I have a dinner party, I
can't put that all together. Eddie Holman IV, brand event specialist. You see his information right there. So thanks for the tips, and we hope you have a great holiday. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, well, during the break, I think we may be eating.
We're going to eat before the show's over.
So I keep saying.
Absolutely.
Stay with us.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No?
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Great Circle is an organization that is dedicated to helping people of all ages when they're facing some of life's toughest challenges. And here to tell us more about this unique service that Great Circle provides in our community, Dr. Eric Winkles and Dr. Alice Luton-Karanjeff. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Now, Great Circle is an organization that I think most people by this point in St. Louis have maybe heard of, but don't understand all of the things that Great Circle encompasses. So let's start with Dr. Luton Karanjov. We talked earlier in the segment about the holidays coming up, and it is a really stressful time for people. I think it brings up a lot of issues for people that maybe they hadn't dealt with before. And one of the things Great Circle has talked about for years is really opening up that conversation about our mental health, that you should be addressing it like you address any other aspect of your physical condition. Are we getting to that point yet?
With the holidays, sure. I think
Or being able to have that discussion and get
in
help?
general. Yeah, I like the idea of being proactive about getting help, not waiting until there's a problem, but seeing it as part of good self-care. Just as we value taking care of our physical health, our mental and emotional health is just as important. So looking to the holidays, think about what might be stressful and what resources might, help us get through, rather than waiting till the hard days hit and wishing that we'd made a call earlier.
And so at Great Circle, you have a community service that anyone in the community can come to Great Circle and find a counselor or someone to talk to. Can you talk a little bit about those services?
Absolutely. We have a community counseling center, so anyone can call. That's any age, male, female, adults, children, anything in between, teenagers. And we do offer counseling. It's individual counseling or family counseling, and different combinations work for different people. So it's a matter of testing it out, taking the risk and calling and seeing if it would help.
Because I think a lot of times people might think, I need to talk to someone, but they don't have the first clue. Who do I call? Do I go through the phone book? Do I need a referral? But they can just literally call Great Circle and get put through to someone to make an appointment.
Absolutely, because that's a common feeling, that it's hard to make the first phone call. So we want to make it easy for people to do that.
Now, one of the other things that happens on the Great Circle campus in Webster Groves, and certainly Great Circle has services all across the state, but there are schools on the Great Circle campus. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the different programs that are going on?
Most definitely. So on our campus in Webster Groves, we have the Vince and Judy Hilliard Education Complex, which really encompasses 4 school programs that are pretty distinct. So we have a program for students that are kindergarten through 12th grade who are really struggling with pretty significant social, emotional behavior concerns. They've really been pretty unsuccessful in their home schools. So they come to our school. It's a therapeutic school setting. So kids are in very small class sizes with a certified special education teacher, a teacher assistant, and a licensed clinical therapist. So students are able to receive individual and group therapy. And the great thing about having our community counseling centers is we can refer families for family therapy, or if there are siblings or parents that need support as well, we can refer them right on the same campus. Our other programs in the school include a program for students in kindergarten through 12th grade who have autism spectrum disorder diagnoses. So again, real small class sizes, licensed teachers, and then the support there, we really have a lot of art therapists, music therapists, speech and language pathologists, occupational therapists. So all the ancillary services that kids need to be successful are really housed all in one place. Another program is for students in 7th through 12th grades. It's really a social skills acquisition program. And then our newest program is Great Circle Academy, and it's a program for students that are struggling with addiction. So high school students who have substance use disorders and really need a strong academic program, but also a drug and alcohol-free environment. So we not only treat substance use disorder, but also any co-occurring mental health disorders as well.
So all of those things that you mentioned can put such a strain on families, whether you have a child on the spectrum or having some major behavioral issues, not being successful in school. It really has an impact on families. So it's good to know that there is a place people can turn to. I think that's probably a relief for a lot of people. But do you find that in this particular climate, in particular, where we are all over social media and everybody puts their family's perfect pictures up there and everybody's family is great, and you're sitting at home crying in your car in the garage going, why is my family not working out? Do you find that families are really struggling more with that, just that maybe fear of finding help because everybody else's families seem like they're doing great?
Definitely. I've talked with many people about getting off Facebook because it's so stressful. The Facebook competition of who has the most perfect life. Yeah, so, and asking for help is really a sign of strength. A lot of times people see it as a sign of weakness, and that's a big barrier, but really it's part of self-care.
Well, I know that we've only scratched the surface, really, of many of the things that Great Circle does, but we've talked about how people can get some help if they need someone to talk to, but is it the same concept with the schools, Dr. Winkles, if people maybe think they could see their child in one of these programs, or do they need to be referred to Great Circle?
So we do referrals as well as private parent pay as well. So if someone is looking for help, we have our website and our phone number that people can call, and they can get diverted to whichever area they need. So whether it's school-based services or the community counseling center, we also have some other services, including 24-hour specialized care, IOP, PHP, so a broad array of services, and just one stop with our website and phone call will get you hooked up.
And there it is right there. It's greatcircle.org. So there are resources right here in our community that can help and take care of yourself and your family. Greatcircle.org. Thank you both so much. I hope you have a wonderful holiday.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
Well, we have a lot of news to get to, and we're going to let Steve Potter handle that one.
News first, then food, right, Debbie? St. Louis Lambert International Airport is reporting 26 straight months of total passenger growth. To date, 2017 has had over 68,000 departing flights versus just 63,000 at this time last year. In addition to commercial flights, there's been an increase in cargo, general aviation, and military flights as well. The airport expects the positive trend to carry throughout the end of the year as additional flights are being added, including new weekly international flights from St. Louis to Cancun. St. Louis is just one of 15 cities Southwest Airlines has designated as an international gateway. For additional information about flights and more, visit flystl.com. The St. Louis Board of Aldermen recently approved a measure that aims to power the city entirely on renewable energy sources, including solar and wind, by 2035. The city is committed to developing a plan by December of 2018 to wean itself off of fossil fuels. With the latest move, St. Louis joins more than 40 other U.S. cities that have set a goal of 100% clean energy. You can learn more about Resolution 124 by visiting the Board of Aldermen page at stlouis-mo.gov. Construction is ready to begin on the new St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. A groundbreaking ceremony recently took place for the 125,000 square foot aquarium, which will be located in the former mall area of Union Station. The aquarium will be an accredited member of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums and will feature a one-of-a-kind exhibit with thousands of species from around the world. The project is expected to be completed by the summer of 2019, and for the latest on the St. Louis Aquarium, visit stlouisunionstation.com. And what started as a small woodworking business over 37 years ago has grown into a successful millworking company for Dave and Marvin Burkhart. STL-TV recently visited the brothers at Burkhart's Woodworks to learn more, so let's take a look.
Business is great. We are a local manufacturer, local ownership. Two brothers, Dave and Marvin, are the only owners of the company, and they started the company basically in their parents' basement over 35 years ago. Great success story for the city. We have a lot of customers that come in constantly, both in commercial and residential applications. And we carry a lot more products since moving into the new facility and having more space to work out of.
We reproduce moldings to match old homes in St. Louis. If anybody has an old home and they want to do some either add on or reproduce what was there, because what was there was so matted up and bad that they couldn't use it. So what will happen is they will bring us patterns that they brought out of the house, like a three-piece head. We call this a three-piece header. And we got a casing here. And then we also have a cap. And what happens is they bring the pieces in. We see if we have the kniving. And if we do, we reproduce this molding to match. So you come over here and you find that we had a match for this knife here. And we were able to reproduce this trim in a cap. And then there was a casing here, and there was another knife we had that would make a casing, and there it is right there. And then there was another one here for a crown piece, and here it is right here. So we've put together a package to reproduce this trim for this person's home to match here in St. Louis. Our business is located in the St. Louis city limits. It's been here for 32 years. We basically incorporated when we were very young, my brother and I. We've been in business, like I said, for 32 years. The city's always been our main source of buildings and where we've done the reproduction work for. St. Louis City's been a great partner for our business. They need to do the buildings and reproduce the trims to make the integrity of the building live on. And we're here to help people do that commercially, residentially. Just about anybody who wants to rehab a building and make it look like it did before, we're able to reproduce a trim, sell them either something off the rack as a stock item or custom make it, whatever it takes to reproduce the trims to match a building in the city of St. Louis. We've been here for them, they've been here for us, and together we've had a great relationship through the last 30 plus years doing custom millwork for the homes of St. Louis.
You know, Debbie, I took woodworking school in high school, but I didn't do very well. That and math were my worst subjects.
I love woodworking. I mean, I love to watch it, but I have no crafty skills at all. Maybe I have cooking skills. I don't know. As you see, I have eating skills for sure. We know that, and drinking skills. But we're here back in the kitchen. The smells have been driving us crazy through this whole show.
Yes, and we're here with Bravo and their general manager, Lydia Gwynn.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks for having me.
Hey,
Oh, we're so glad to have
things
you.
smell good today.
That's good.
A little garlic in a pan.
Yeah.
Never go wrong, right?
Never.
All right, tell me about Bravo. I've never been there. You're out in West County,
We
right?
are, yeah. We're connected to the West County Mall. We're kind of a hidden gem. We're in Restaurant Village, there's 3 total restaurants in that little area. But we've been there for 8 years.
Do you call it Bravo? Is that what people say when you serve them?
Cucina Italiana.
We are often praised with a bravo, So yeah, the name goes a long way, both at start and finish.
Well, you have done
ideas for
a
the
lovely, I
holiday?
mean, look at this decorating job she has done here with these festive cocktails.
We're ready to go. We've been planning for a long time for the holiday season, and this is just the iceberg.
You know, Debbie's hiring this a professional promoter to help her with the holiday parties. So maybe you can give them some tips on what to serve.
Yeah, well, one of our favorites that we did just added to the menu is our shrimp bruschetta, which we have for display here, and we're cooking in the pan. Fairly easy for you to do at home if you are adventurous, and definitely want to try to make it yourself. So, we started with the smaller shrimp. They're called 91-100 shrimp. They're already pre-cooked a little bit.
91-100 shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay.
The size of the shrimp is going to indicate, the number of it will indicate how much is in a pound. So you get about a 91 to 100 little shrimp in 1 pound. So
small. This
see,
may
I'm
sound,
learning stuff already.
This may sound like a dumb question, but I always thought bigger shrimp was better. No?
It depends on what you're wanting to do with it. So in this case,
See, this way you get a bunch of shrimp. Otherwise, you get 1 shrimp
That
per
makes
bruschetta.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that way it kind of spread the love all over the place. But yeah, so a little bit of garlic in the pan, oil, which we're smelling in here, a little bit of Cajun seasoning. I give it a little bit of a kick. And
I might
then,
just grab one of these.
Yeah, go for it. Tomatoes.
I can't reach them over there.
Don't worry, you'll get the fresh stuff over here. You're making it.
There you go.
Okay. I'll wait for the fresh.
But yeah, so we're going to add some lobster butter. If you want to do that, you're welcome
This
to.
right here?
We'll let that melt
Lobster butter.
Yeah.
Do you make your own lobster butter?
We do. We make our own lobster butter. We make our own scampi
Is he supposed
butter.
to put all of it in?
Yeah, all of it.
I just
Calories
wanted to make
sure during the holiday season.
I'm
So
messing
help
up already,
yourself,
am
right?
I? Do I mix it up a little like that?
Yeah, let it sit in the pan, let it melt in there. Watch your hands.
No, if I don't have lobster butter at home, what else
regular
could I
butter
use?
it works just as well. The lobster butter is just going to add like a nice little layer of seafood flavor to the dish. But if you don't have lobster butter or can't get it at the store, by all means you can use a lobster base with a little bit of butter in there, and it'll work just the same.
I want lobster butter.
Yeah.
There you go. Can't go wrong.
How's that?
That's perfect. All right, and then I'll let you add the cream. Yeah. And we'll let that get up to a nice little bubbly,
that
and then you can
smells
pour it
fabulous.
over the top.
Do what?
Pour it
You
over
can
the
pour
top.
it over the top.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
let that get hot. We'll get the cream up to temperature, You'll see
May I?
it when it's all...
I'm just kind of taking over here. Is that okay, Lydia?
That's fine. Go for it. Let me know if you need a job after this.
Well,
Got some time.
we'll talk later.
Well, good. We'll put your woodworking skills to place. Now, for cocktails over here,
All
cocktails
right.
are usually a great starter. You know, most people want to start with cocktails and appetizers, so this is a great one to go with. We have two that we featured over here for our holiday season. One is a salted caramel martini, which you can't go wrong with. Salted caramel is one of the best flavors of the
Yes,
season.
I agree.
So we'll have you make that if you want. So it's 2 ounces of rum chata, which is a
Rum chata.
spiced rum. You'll pour
All
that
right.
over ice, and then 1 ounce of Kahlua, or a coffee liqueur.
All
Were
right.
you ever a bartender in college or anything?
I
Debbie?
was actually.
Well, let's check these
But
skills
mostly
out.
I had guys who just ordered whiskey and sodas. I didn't get to make fancy stuff.
Oh, now
Okay.
just shake it real hard. Yeah.
Is that ready, dude?
That's perfect. Now you can pour it over the bread. Now don't be shy. You just dump
Don't
it.
worry.
All right.
All right, well, real quick, we've got to strain the ice. So I'll show you a
Oh,
little
strain
trick.
the ice.
Yeah. So we'll take it over here, and you just want to kind of with the... Now, most people at home at their own home bar will probably have a better sort of set. This is more of the high stream kind of thing with the shaking tin. And then, oh, you know, we forgot the caramel. Caramel on the bottom, but we'll put more caramel on the top, which will let you drizzle away.
Ooh, look
Let
how
it sink to the
fun.
bottom, and it'll be all good to go. Now, the other one that we have, we make in-house, it's a Bullet whiskey. So this is more of a manly drink, or if you're a lady that likes a little bit of whiskey.
And that's this one?
That is that one. And then we have a little bit of rum chata in it, and then our own sort of creme anglaise spiced with a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg. So that's sort of our little tip to the hat to
Excellent.
nutmeg. Yeah.
All right, well, you're trying that. I'm going to try this.
The lobster butter makes it.
There you go.
Is that good?
Very good.
Would you like some
It's a little
bruschetta?
The
dangerous.
caramel, especially. I think I will try
Try
it.
that. Boy, that's good.
Now, these are just a little bit of the features that we have to offer during the holiday season. We actually start next week our holiday menu. We've got some great entrees that we've been sampling this week as
Like
we're
what?
preparing our kitchen. One of them is a salmon and shrimp risotto that is very rich and decadent. The other one that we have is a fontina, which is a wonderful Italian cheese stuffed chicken with prosciutto wrapped on a bed of risotto as well. And then our last one that we have is our lobster ravioli, which you can't go wrong with. So plenty of things to eat during the holiday season to let you leave feeling merry and bright.
Now, will you be decorating the restaurant
I
as
will.
well as you've decorated our set
Well,
here
you'll
today?
have to come in and see how well I've done. But yes, I get real into the holiday season. My staff helps. Poinsettias everywhere. When you come in, it feels like you're at your mom's house and
Debbie,
she's
would
done
you
a great
pass the
time.
creme brulee, please?
Which one do you want? The chocolate?
Well, both.
Yeah.
Both? One of them's
So
for me.
as you're tipping off your hat, we have 3 creme brulees this season as well. We have our original classic flavor, which is vanilla bean.
I've never had anything but the original.
Yes,
shout it
well,
out.
the other one is our hot cocoa, and then we have a peppermint one as well, which is nice, subtle peppermint. It's not going to blow you out of the water like some peppermint flavors do. So
Debbie, try that.
Now,
Here we
Lydia,
go.
as the
This is
general
your-
manager, do you do a lot of cooking?
I do. I spend some time in the kitchen as well. Just got to make sure that I keep up to speed with everything. But
Oh, I
you
love
know,
that it has that beautiful creme brulee
nice
crust.
little crunch to it.
How important is it at a restaurant to change menu items, and how often? That's got to be something you think about,
You
right?
do. You want to definitely change it for the season. You know, when you think about what you're eating during the summertime and during the wintertime, they're completely different. So as a restaurant manager, you know, it's for the season too. We want to make sure that we're offering the things that are in the trends.
Okay, now on this creme brulee, there's like sugar on top, but is there chocolate sugar on top?
Well, that's just your basic sugar on top, and then for the peppermint, we put actual crushed peppermint candies on
my
top
gosh.
of it.
Oh, that is so good. You can't eat too many of those.
No.
But like you said, at the holidays, it's all calorie free.
I'm going to go to Bravo.
Yeah, stop by
Yes.
Bravo and get some of this delicious food and then say hi to Lydia. There's the restaurant address right there and
But
bravoitalian.com.
Say hi to Lydia, but don't talk with your mouth full.
No, that's rude. That is very rude. Well, we're going to finish up eating all of this delicious stuff that you have brought us and finishing these cocktails because it's happy hour somewhere,
Have you noticed
right?
have you noticed how the crew is eyeing us?
Stay back.
There's more than enough.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of St. Louis Presents.
Thanks to Lydia and all of our other guests today, and we hope you join us next time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All right.